Joining in, welcome again. This is Mark Kapczynski here from Gooten. I run marketing. The topic for today as part of our holiday webinar series is using email and on-site display marketing to drive holiday sales. And so we're very excited to have Allison from one of our business partners, Privy, here today. And so we're going to go through the broader topic of email marketing. As part of the series, I know everyone will be excited about next week's session as well. It's our session with Mark from our customer support team, and he'll be talking about customer support through the holidays, things that we're doing here at Gooten to get ready, and tips and suggestions for you guys to work with your own customers to be ready for the holiday season, as it's now upon us, and I'm sure orders and stuff are starting to flow in already. So stay tuned for that session next week. And as always, everything is listed up on our website. The URL's at the end of the deck, and Zlata from my team, who's also listening in, will send that out to everyone. If you have any questions during the session, feel free to just post them into the chat window, and between myself and Zlata, we'll get to those. Zlata will try to answer some on the fly as we go, and if there's ones that I think are good for the group, I'll interrupt Allison, and we'll try to get some questions answered as we go along. So I think with that, we'll go ahead and get started. Allison, you ready to take it away?
I am. So thank you so much, Mark. Hi, everybody. I am Allie Aldrich. I am the VP of Partnerships at Privy, but I've spent the past 15 years in either marketing, a marketing role, or working for a marketing technology company, and focused really a lot on email and that on-site conversion. So Privy, if you're not familiar with us, we are the #1 rated sales app in Shopify. We have over 24,000 reviews. 18,000 of those are 5-star reviews. And what we do is we offer merchants really the tools, the support, and education they need to help grow from 0 to $1 million in sales. And so along with our products, there's, Privy Convert, which is our on-site product that most people are familiar with. Privy Email, our email marketing tool that covers the e-commerce email basics, and as well as Privy Text, which is our SMS tool. But beyond that, we actually just wrote the book on e-commerce marketing. So Mark, if you want to kind of advance the slides. Perfect. So this actually just launched on October 6th, and it is the handbook, which is your guide to e-commerce marketing, getting to your first $1 million in sales. And so a lot of the stuff that I'm going to cover today not just comes from our own philosophy at Privy, but it was actually taken from the 17 experts that we interviewed as part of this book to help show people how you can grow your business to that first $1 million in sales. They've all done it or been a part of these businesses in some way, and so we're sharing their insights with you today. Perfect. So what I'm going to cover, I want to talk about why email is going to be your most consistent and important channel for not just Black Friday and Cyber Monday, but really beyond. Why it lays a great foundation for your brand and your business going forward. The basics you need to make sure you have in place. So what is that foundation that's going to kind of set the basis for everything else you do? And actually mapping out what we consider the full checklist. So I'm going to give you kind of step-by-step, hey, here are the things that will get you set up to really tackle Black Friday and Cyber Monday, and again, and beyond. And then past that, once the basics are in place, let's cover some fun kind of bonus things that we can do to increase average order value and increase on-site conversion. So that's all the stuff I'm going to cover today. Again, if you have questions, please feel free to throw them in. Happy to have us be a little bit more interactive than just me speaking at you. So why email? Everybody likes to say that email is dead, but it's not, right? We looked across our entire merchant base. We have over 500,000 merchants right now using Privy. And on average, the value of an email address to them was $16. That means that if you can capture an extra 200 emails a month, you're talking about adding another $3,200 in revenue from email addresses that like you wouldn't have had before. And so it's really important to grow your email list. But, you know, again, there's kind of a saying in the marketing space that email is dead, right? There are new tools out there. There's SMS, there's messaging through Facebook, all of this other stuff. But the fact of the matter is that email isn't dead, right? It is still very much alive and well, and it's a really important part of your overall marketing strategy. It should be driving between 25 and 40% of your total revenue if you're an e-commerce business. And if you think about it, you know, 98% is only about 2% conversion rate on a website. And so 98% of your traffic isn't ready to actually make a purchase when they first land there. And so by building your email list, you can then communicate with them and nurture that relationship to get them to the point of buying. The most important part of this is that you own the data. You own your email list. You are not subject to changes in algorithms or business practices that could change at any point in time. You can communicate with these customers. And so, you know, I think that Toby, the CEO of Shopify, at one point said that your website and your email list are really the only two things you own. Everything else is just rented out there. So building that list and being able to communicate with these customers is very critical to your overall marketing strategy. On top of that, it doesn't always have to be a lot of manual work, right? There are newsletters, certainly, or some people think of those as like batch and blast emails, promotions, and those are going to change all the time. But you can set up your automated emails, your abandoned cart sequence, your welcome series, these emails that just trigger automatically. So once you set them up, they will continue to drive you additional revenue on their own without you needing to do anything. And the amount of data you have now as a business owner, as a marketer, allows you to get really personal with what you're saying. So segmenting your list based on, are they a first-time visitor? Are they a repeat shopper? How much have they spent with you? What have they looked at? Use that data to be able to customize the message and not try to send a one-size-fits-all message, but really get a message that is going to be more relevant to that person and therefore more effective.
I think that's so important in marketing. I think a lot of people just think, you know, I certainly have a number of friends that have businesses this way that just think everyone's my customer and like, I'm just going to sell everything to everyone, which certainly is like wishful thinking, I know.
I know. When you think about it, like taking the idea of email and relating it to kind of that in-person experience, right? Like if you're having a conversation with somebody, it's going to change based on what you do or don't know about them. And the same philosophy should really apply to your email. And with all the data we have, there's no reason you can't. And all the tools out there are making it very easy to be a lot more specific with your email.
Yeah, and it just seems like emails, like, you know, I think so many emails have just gotten so just like what feels like so mechanical, like it's just very like plain and vanilla kind of emails that like, why would, like, I always ask people when they send them to me and stuff, you know, fellow marketers, it's like, why would you even think that I would read this or care about this? Because it's not even that interesting and like adds no value, right? It's just, you know, like, did you check the box on how many emails you had to blast out this week or something?
My worst nightmare.
Exactly.
All right, so you want to get started. Kind of what's the fundamentals? What do you need to have in place? So first and foremost, you want to think about capturing those emails on your site. And we see so many merchants make the mistake of just having a simple newsletter sign up and kind of checking the box, right? I have a sign up, I'm good to go there. But just having kind of one basic sign up on your site is not enough. We see across our base that customers that are utilizing more than one different type of display for capturing email drive 7.5 times as many signups as somebody who's just using one newsletter capture. And you want to think about, like, focusing on different parts of the funnel with different messaging. That's how you're really going to maximize those signups. And so you can have something on your homepage that greets that first-time visitor. But then think about somebody who's actually gone through your site and spent a little more time with your brand and actually shown some intent. The message you show to that person to try to capture their email should be different. And I kind of want to dive into some of the metrics if you want to advance the slide, Mark. So again, simple, basic newsletter capture. You should be probably capturing on average about 1% or less of a sign up rate. If you just are like giving them no value for it, just, hey, do you want to hear from me and my brand? This capture, while still important, isn't going to perform very well. But if you take it a step further, and on the next slide, Mark, I can show you some examples. So a welcome email with an offer, and it's important to note that it doesn't have to be a discount, right? That's, I think, a common misconception, and we hear a lot from brands like, I am a non-discounting brand, or I feel like discounts dilute my brand image. Like, that's okay. It doesn't have to be a discount. It just needs to be something that somebody feels like it's worthwhile exchanging their information for, right? Perhaps it's just to be on the insider list, right? To be the first notified about new products, or to get exclusive tips and tricks. There can be, just make it feel valuable for somebody to say, okay, I'm giving you a reason to give my email. But if you do put something like a discount, you should expect to see a 5 to 10% sign up rate just by kind of changing the creative from that same exact first time welcome intent email capture. But if you take it further down the funnel, and now somebody has clicked around in your site, they've actually put something in their cart. And this is important because at this point in time, and this is where I think it's a misconception across e-commerce, if you haven't captured their email address, you can't send them the abandoned cart email, right? And we're going to cover abandoned cart emails later on in this presentation, but a lot of folks think, hey, my abandoned cart email is covering anybody that put something in their cart. Well, if they haven't gotten to checkout yet and they haven't given you their email address, you actually can't send that email. And so in this case, this is actually trying to capture their email so you can continue communicating with them, but actually ideally giving them a reason to check out without abandoning in the first place. But either way, this we call it a cart saver campaign. This cart saver campaign typically has a 15 to 20% sign up rate. And so that's really important when you think about just the basic email capture being only about 1%, to being able to get down to a point where you're capturing 15 to 20% of the people that see that display. I mean, that is a really great way to start growing that list, and with people that actually really care about hearing from your brand because they've already started interacting with it. So again, there are lots of different types of displays you can cover, but on the next slide, Mark, we sort of say that the 3 that you must have, right? So you have to have your homepage email capture, right? Somebody, they're coming to your site, give yourself a way to stay in touch with that 98% of people that aren't ready to make a purchase when they land. As always, I mean, hopefully you have an email capture in your footer. I think the important thing to note here is a lot of folks will leave kind of a standard footer in there and not necessarily link it up with whoever they're using to capture emails. So most email service providers, MailChimp, Klaviyo, any of those folks have their forms, or if you're using a tool like Privy, you want all of your forms across the site to be the same. And just something that people often overlook, they'll leave like a Shopify capture in the footer and then be using another tool to build their email list. And that can just create some inconsistencies from the merchant experience. So make sure that they're all from the same provider. And then again, this exit intent cart saver. So our customer Enzo Rings recently implemented this cart saver campaign to somebody who had something in their cart. And they actually saw a 22% conversion rate on that display. So 22% of the people that saw that saw that display ended up giving them the email, which is about 10x the average conversion rate for an email capture form. So again, super important to have kind of email capture on both sides of the funnel at a bare minimum, and you're going to really increase the amount of emails that you can capture.
Hey, Ali, a question for you. Like, where does the role of like giveaways or, like things like that, like give me your email address and be entered to, for a opportunity to have a $500 gift card or, like more of the giveaway kind of stuff, or, enter now, give us your email to enter a contest kind of thing. Where does that play a role in this type of stuff, and how effective is that?
Yeah, so I mean, again, that goes back to, it doesn't have to be a discount. It doesn't have to be a coupon. It just has to be something that somebody feels like is worthwhile for handing over their email address, right? Like nobody is just gonna walk around throwing around their email address, because we're all inundated with a lot of emails now. But if it's something they're interested in, if it's, hey, I might have a chance to win a $500 gift card, or I might get a free gift with purchase, right? We've seen free tote bags or things like that. And then maybe it's free tote bag with purchase. But certainly anything that somebody feels valuable to your customer base is worth testing. And ideally, you're using a tool that allows you to A/B test email capture too, right? That's an important part of it, is thinking through, hey, maybe I'll try giving 15% off here, or 10% off, and see which works better. Sometimes it's free shipping, or it's a giveaway. So it's just important to test. We also offer the spin to win campaigns, which is really that gamified version of email capture. So the wheel that has all the different—
Not the wheel, not the wheel.
People love the wheel. It is crazy how much people love the wheel. But it's like, that is super effective, right? That is going to drive up your conversion significantly. I think the thing to think about there is sometimes people just want to play the game, and so they're less qualified. They may take more nurturing down the road to actually become paying customers.
Got it. Cool. All right. I'll keep going for you.
So hopping on, once you've built your email list, or you have the foundation to build your email list, the basic email series that every e-commerce merchant should be sending right now is your welcome series, your abandoned cart, and your order follow-up or post-purchase. Again, these are separate from the newsletters. These are the automated emails that can, quote, like, just make money while you sleep. And so I want to kind of dive into what we see most merchants doing for these series. So your welcome series. Typically, we see people doing about 3 to 4 emails in their series. The first email should trigger automatically after somebody signs up for your email address, right? So you've just had them on your website, you're capturing their email, and then you want to make sure you're following up to confirm that they opted into that email address, but really help start building that relationship with your brand. Maybe you want to show your best-selling products. Maybe you want to tell your brand story, right? We see a lot of brands doing this, which is like, hey, here's a little bit about me and what I do, or what we stand for, or the types of products we sell. So just kind of start building that relationship with the customer. If you showed them a discount on your website when you were asking for the email address, you should follow that up and include that discount in there, the coupon that they can use right away. Making sure you're including the Shop Now CTA, right? Try to drive them back to your site. And if you have social proof, include that. Help try to start building the credibility of why somebody should shop with you.
I always find it funny when, like, a site has, to your point about the discount code, right? They have like a discount code and it's expired, and then they email you the expired discount code. It's like, you got to make sure all the stuff stays current as well. So don't just set it once and forget it, right?
Exactly. So, and a lot of times we like to recommend, to the extent that whatever e-commerce platform you're using allows, like, those unique codes, right? So they can't get posted on, any of those sites out there with the discount for XYZ site, right? You're actually just doing a one-time use unique code, and that's really powerful. That's what we like to recommend to the brands.
Cool.
So just kind of breaking down some examples. I always think it's fun to look at them, right? And why we think this is a good one. right? So, again, this is actually, this is the abandoned cart example. Not sure. Oh, anyways, well, if you were to think about it, it would be your brand story, right? Reminding them who you were as a business, what you sell, right? That chances are they've looked at a bunch of websites and they're probably not going to remember as much as you would love them to think that they're going to remember your brand. So kind of give them a quick reminder at the top, give them a CTA to go back and shop right now. You want to be having the bullet points that tell them what you stand for, what you sell, recommending to them that, hey, these people, there's social proof here. People have shopped us. They've had a good experience, right? That's always really important. And then maybe some other products you offer that they might be interested in going back and looking at. So your abandoned cart email. This is perhaps one of the most important or the most important email you're going to send. 70% of all e-commerce carts are abandoned, mostly because of shipping costs, right? Sadly, we live in the age of Amazon where everyone has come to expect kind of that free shipping. And, I know obviously we're talking to e-commerce merchants. You guys probably know this pain most of all, but it's not just about free shipping, right? People get distracted. They want to look around and see what else is out there. And so people put stuff in their cart and then they walk away. And most people walk away and don't come back. So again, remind them what they left behind, ideally, if you can include the products there. Just don't distract them with too much other stuff, right? Just show them what they were looking at and see if they want to buy. If you can include an offer, do so, but do so with urgency. So really like limited time or drive urgency another way, right? Help, these are selling out, or come back, these are selling out quick. Like that stuff can really help drive the urgency so people don't feel like they're going to lose out on it. From timing, you want to think about 4 hours after abandonment is probably the closest. So things distract us in this life, right? Maybe you had to leave and go pick your child up from school pickup or whatever. So you don't want to trigger an abandoned cart email immediately. Give them a little bit of time to complete their purchase. So we suggest about 4 hours, then about 24 hours and 48 hours after that. So giving them a little bit of time, again, hitting them if you can with an offer. Hopefully it's a limited time offer. And then a quick follow-up again right at the end to say, hey, the offer is about to expire. And that usually works really well. If you didn't give them a coupon right on your site, consider the first email just being a quick reminder of, hey, do you still want this? And holding out on that discount until that second email. And then again, having that offer expire by the third email. Yep. So again, this is one where they're creating urgency. They're not necessarily saying that the discount's going to expire, but they're creating urgency as in these items are going fast. So driving somebody back with urgency, bringing them right back to the cart. So this is a mistake we see people make. Oftentimes they just have their button go right back to the website and then the person's left back on your homepage. If you can, take them right back into that cart and have them complete checkout from there. Include what they were looking at, or maybe items similar to what they were looking at. Maybe they just got lost and didn't end up actually finding the thing that they were looking for. So maybe give them some alternative recommendations too. And then finally, the order follow-up. And this really will vary based on your business, the type of products you sell, how often somebody may come back and make a repeat purchase. At a minimum, though, you want to send it immediately after their purchase with all the relevant details. This is probably your highest open rate email, right? So people are going to check back. They're going to make sure they got the order correct. They want to find the tracking information. Like they're going to save this email and go back to it. And so make sure it has everything they're going to be looking for to give them a good customer experience. But if you can, you can use this also as an opportunity to cross-sell or upsell adjacent products. So this person just interacted with your brand, just made a purchase, probably is feeling pretty good about the purchase they just made. And so this is a great time to sort of see if you can get additional revenue out of them. Remind them again what your brand story is and why they purchased from you. If you can, like, give your brand value props there. Help them feel good about what they did, again, with that social proof, or by asking them for social proof, right? So whether it's, hey, leave us a review. How was your experience? A lot of times, though, brands start asking for that a little too soon after the purchase. So if, think about, if the order has been delivered, or it's a week after the product was delivered, then you can send a follow-up that's like, are you liking your experience with our product? Leave us a review, right? That's a great time to ask for it. And if you have long shipping times, or you have a product that needs a little bit more education, use the time in between when the order was placed and the product will actually get delivered to kind of foster that relationship and continue to get them excited. We see a lot of times, like, people talk about that buyer's remorse, and it applies to e-commerce businesses, especially when there's a long fulfillment time and shipping time. So try to stay engaged with them and keep them excited about the purchase and awaiting its arrival. So again, just another great example, making you feel good about the purchase you made, giving them all the information they need about their order and how they can find updates on it or change any information. It includes an upsell, right? So we just bought, hey, here's maybe some other products that you might like to add or that go really nicely with the product that you just bought. A quick way for them to get help if they need it, making sure that you're continuing to give them a great customer experience. And then this is the social proof in the opposite, which is like, hey, did you like it? Refer a friend, and you can save money. And so if you're running a referral program, this is a perfect place to recommend that. So just recapping, what you need if you're trying to get your email strategy up and running before Black Friday and Cyber Monday, make sure you have those email forms at a minimum on your homepage in the footer, and then a cart saver campaign set up. That's how you're going to maximize those email captures. Build out your welcome series. Really start to tell your brand story. Show them your best-selling products. Give them social proof, give them a reason to choose you over anybody else, and send that first email immediately after sign up. That's super important. Get your abandoned cart email set up. You want that first one to go out about 4 hours after the abandonment happens. Don't distract them with too much. Keep it short. Show them the product they left behind. Making sure that you're finding some way to drive urgency, whether it's with an offer or just with the copy in the email. And if you didn't give them an offer right away, then try to withhold it. Try to see if you can get them to go back and purchase without actually cutting any of your margin out of it. And then your third email campaign is that order follow-up. Send it immediately, send it with all the relevant details to ensure they have a great experience, particularly as you go into the holidays, right? There are going to be a lot of orders being placed. There are going to be a lot of order confirmation emails hitting the inbox. So give them a one-stop shop for what they need and where they can go for help. And use that as an opportunity to to get them to buy more from you. And if it's relevant, teach them how to use your product, or give them a way to be excited if you have longer shipping times. So that's the basis. We call it the Black Friday, Cyber Monday email checklist. Certainly what you want to have in place before you hit the holiday season, but really this should be your basis for email marketing going forward. And after that's in place, you can kind of start to take it to the next level, think about additional emails, and then also think about what else you can do on site. And that's kind of where I want to dive next.
Just quick question. So
yeah,
are like if I'm watching this today, or people are watching it on demand after today,
yep.
They might be thinking, wow, like Black Friday's coming up like next month. It's literally a month away. Am I too late? Does it even make sense to do this? How quickly can I get up and running? I don't know if you're going to talk about that next, but maybe you just want a quick comment on, like, can we get up? Can people get this up and running still in time for Black Friday? And what's your thought on that?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, even if you can't, first of all, you can get all of it done. These do not have to be the most perfect emails that you've ever seen in your entire life, right? You're better off like getting the emails in place, getting the basics. A lot of times, like plain text emails or minimum images, minimum design still work really well, right? And so it doesn't take a lot. Obviously, I can speak to Privy and how quickly you can get up and running with us, which is a matter of, you know, forms is a matter of minutes. The email is really probably within a day or two. You can be up and running with all of these things in place. Most providers actually give you kind of templates for the basis for like, hey, just plug in your logo, plug in your product catalog, and then, you know, you can customize from there, but they make it really easy to get up and running very quickly with the basics of this stuff. I think you stand to lose a lot more by not getting things up and going. And so again, these are automated emails. These are the ones that, while you try to catch a little bit of sleep over Cyber Weekend, are still going to be working for you. And so it's really important that you get them up and going. So again, kind of Privy, obviously, like I said, we offer multiple products. There's a lot you can do with our on-site products, and I wanted to just tease out some of those because, you know, maybe you already have the basics in place and you're feeling good about your email strategy, but like, what more can you do? And so I wanted to touch on really increasing conversion and increasing average order value with those on-site displays are really a more customized journey. So once you've got everything taken care of on the email side, think about free shipping, right? So like I talked about, one of the biggest reasons people abandon the carts is because they get to checkout or they get to the cart and they realize that there's going to be a big shipping cost. And so be really upfront with free shipping. And if you can, create a free shipping threshold, but also promote it. And then use the cross-sell campaigns to drive additional revenue. If somebody's already there and they're already purchasing from you, let's see what you can do to drive up that average order value. So quickly touching on cross-sell, Mark, you can go to the next slide. So upsell, cross-sell, people often get confused. But you know, the age-old one is McDonald's. Would you like fries with that? So you've already paid for a customer to come into your store. They're there, they're making a purchase, right? And upsell is going to be, do you want to supersize that? And do you just want to spend more on what you're already purchasing? But the cross-sell is the would you like fries with that? And so this is just a great way to help it drive up that average order value. And if you can do that even incrementally, you can really start to improve the revenue numbers from your store. So going back, this is our customer. I was using them before, but Urban Skin RX. They have a few different displays that are interesting, right? So obviously they're capturing people right away, trying to grow them on their email list so they can continue to communicate with them. As somebody's shopping around, maybe they have bounced around to a couple of pages and they haven't really done anything yet. This is where they recommend them kind of adding the hydrating lip treatment. Right? So let's try to add it to the cart. Give them a recommendation of a bestseller there and try to see if we can entice them in there. And then at the bottom, I like it because it's like, hey, you get free shipping if you spend over $75, right? So it's a way to add a low-cost item in. Similarly, if they add a product that maybe requires like, hey, here are sponges to put on your makeup, if those are not in the cart, but any of the other products are, they just recommend, hey, do you want to add these for a low price? And so just simple ways to add additional products to your cart. The important thing to note is that both of these buttons drop the item right into your cart. They don't take you to another page and then have you kind of get lost in the decision making. It just right away drops them in your cart and drives up that average order value. So again, this is just kind of walking through how it works, right? Click, and there it goes. It's added right to the cart, and it, you know, took the order from $35 to $60. So super great way. We see a lot of merchants utilizing this and seeing a lot of success with it. And then again, improving conversion rate with free shipping bars. So trying to unlock that the abandonment, or trying to get rid of the abandonment because of a hesitation around shipping costs. So David Bell, he said that shipping and handling responsible for about 52% of all the online abandonment, and that 60% of retailers out there say that the free shipping tool they're using is like their most successful marketing tool. And so that, for that reason alone, we actually built free shipping into Privy, and it's a dynamic free shipping bar because that is really important. If you want to move on.
So, quick question just on shipping, because it seems like shipping is going to be just an issue all holiday season for everyone. You know, we've seen the all the carriers are implementing surcharges and things like that. Are you guys seeing any trends in how people are messaging that out via email to customers and so on? You know, are people telling their customers about it? Are they just eating the cost? How are they, communicating, I think, the state of shipping out to folks, if you've seen anything, in your experience?
Yeah, so I personally haven't yet seen anything around changes in shipping costs. I could imagine maybe they're changing their threshold if they have one. What we're seeing more is people utilizing displays to communicate expectations around shipping and potential like longer shipping lead times, right? So hey, things are going to take longer, place your orders by, right? You used to see it. It's like, place your orders by December 23rd or December 20th. And now
that's not happening
like,
this
place
year.
them by November 30th, right?
Right.
So in conjunction with people just making sure that they're running their sales earlier, they're actually getting really upfront about their potential discounting or promotions that they're going to be running. We're seeing them utilize our on-site displays to really give the messaging of what to expect. And I think a lot of consumers are starting to understand that it's certainly like, hey, things may take longer than normal. If you want to get it guaranteed, you've got to order by this date. And so we're seeing more of that.
Yeah, I think that's a good point. I mean, I know we're telling all of our merchants, to get their sales out, get things going right now, just because you can't wait. And I do feel like more and more merchants, not just Gooten merchants, but just merchants across the board are sort of all saying the same exact thing, which is like, start shopping now, get things going now, because you don't want to wait till the last minute and so on.
Yep, absolutely. So this is just an example of the free shipping bar. If you can see here, what's interesting about this is we give you the shipping threshold, right? If you spend $50, you get free shipping. You add something that's $35, and that total completely changes, and so you're only $15 away from free shipping. I know as a consumer, right, I certainly end up spending $15 to save $7 on shipping. I think that's something that's really common for people to do, to spend that money, because
it's a matter of principle.
Don't want to pay for shipping,
exactly. Right? It's a matter of principle.
Yeah, and so we see merchants having a ton of success with driving up what they consider their average order value by simply just promoting the difference that somebody is away from shipping. And a lot of merchants are smart about strategically setting that threshold in a way that's kind of like, probably above one product, maybe two products, and they actually calculate that based on what they're selling and what they see. And so certainly there are furniture stores, there are lots of, we were talking to a wine company the other day, and they're like, we can't ship, like wine is really expensive to ship. And so, there can be the difference of you actually geo-target this. And so maybe it's a certain delivery fee if you're in a certain geographic area, and then otherwise it's not free shipping. Or we see this with like international versus domestic, right? And making sure you're targeting that accordingly. But where you can, this is a really smart way to get folks that are already planning on buying from you to just buy more, so they get over that mental hump of not having to pay for shipping.
Yeah, and I think you're right. It's never like you never can get one extra product. It's always like that product always has extra value. They always get me on that one.
Yeah. Yeah. So I was talking to somebody the other day, and they were saying they were so excited because they got they were shopping, I think it was on Walmart, but they got it to like $35.08. So they only had to spend 8 cents over to unlock the free shipping.
That's the dream as a consumer, is to work it out. So
Not for merchants, but for consumers.
I know. I buy from this one merchant like some food products, like mostly like organic meats and stuff. And man, they always get me with that. It's like, you know, if you spend $150, free shipping, it's like,
yep.
Every time.
Exactly.
You got me.
Exactly. So awesome. That's really all I wanted to cover today. But, you know, happy to answer questions if any have come through, or if there are any questions you had, Mark.
Yeah. So first off, why don't you just talk about how people should get a hold of you? What's the best way to engage with Privy, and so on?
Yeah. So if you want to reach me personally, if you have any follow-up questions, you can reach me. I'm Allie@privy.com. You know, Privy is really focused, like I said, on not just the tools, but really the education and the support for merchants. And so we're running a ton of what we call masterclasses. They're free e-commerce marketing courses for anybody that's looking to dive any deeper in. We often do site reviews. We really do like hands-on actionable sessions. You do not have to be a Privy customer to take part in them. So if you go to privy.com.
Oh, that's what I was going to say. Sorry. Yeah. You're going to say where to find it.
There's a learn section up there, and you'll have our master classes, that both the past ones and then how to register for live ones. We also run a podcast called the E-commerce Marketing Show. And so that's available anywhere you get your podcasts. And so really great. We either talk to merchants that have done it themselves, or provide like quick 7-minute actionable insights to just really boost your marketing strategy and everything e-commerce marketing.
Awesome. Terrific. Well, this has been super helpful. I learned a bunch, and man, definitely a lot of capabilities in your platform. So hopefully our merchants will take advantage of using it and integrate it in if they're not already. And I'm still blown away at how many Shopify reviews and ratings you have. That's amazing. So congrats. Yeah. I mean, it obviously speaks to the quality of your platform and service. So definitely kudos to you guys. Awesome. I think we're going to wrap it up here. So Allie, we'll post your presentation online for other merchants who weren't able to attend. For those folks that are here, you can go to just Gooten.com. Gooten Holiday Webinars is the link, and share that with folks. And next week, again, we'll be on the topic of customer service, customer support for the holiday, the dream session that everyone's been waiting to hear about. It's like, I think, you know, poor Mark Ray from our team is going to be loaded up with questions about where orders are and stuff. So it's going to be a fun and lively session next week as well. So Allie, thank you again for your continued support and participation. We really appreciate it. There's a lot of thanks for helping get everything set up. And for everyone online, thank you for joining in once again. We really appreciate it and appreciate your business. And we'll talk to you soon. Thanks, everyone.
Bye.
Bye.